I'm on the web. I'm on the web. Yeah, wah, wah, wah. What is up, web fam? This is the webcam. I'm Cam, and I'm back with JJ. He's returned.
Bub. Yo, what's up, Bub?
He was Bub for 1 week, and now he's transformed back.
Yeah.
It's kind of a downgrade, but
it's a little bit upsetting, but I had a traumatic event happen to me, and this shit happened, bro.
Well, this is actually interesting because this is like your first podcast back, because the last time that we recorded the podcast, you and me, was like mid-December when we recorded 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but this is the 2022. Like this is it's crazy to be online in 2022. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy that we're on the web. It's my
first video. It's technically my first video.
Yeah, we're on the web. I'm on the web.
On the web. All right.
Yeah, so today we are doing another tier list. So if you guys haven't seen our Spider-Man tier list, you should check that out. But I want this to be like a consistent type of podcast that we do, where we do tier lists.
Yeah.
So this is our second one. We're doing a cartoon tier list. This tier list was not created by me. This is one that's already on the website. So there might be some shows that I haven't seen or JJ hasn't seen. Again?
Let's just pretend that didn't happen.
Okay. Jump cut right here.
All right. Boom.
We got a lot to go through here, so we're just going to go ahead and hop right into it. We're gonna do it well.
Yeah.
So first off, we have South Park, and for me, I feel like South Park is like, it's okay. I've never been like the biggest South Park fan, but like, it's okay.
Well, to be honest with you, there was a point where I was actually really into South Park. Matter of fact, I watched South Park earlier today, the pandemic episode, like the pandemic special. I used to be a bigger fan of South Park. I feel like back then when the first thing I ever seen of South Park was the actual movie, right?
Yeah.
It was called like the longer, what was it, like the longer uncut, unrated movie. It was pretty funny to me, but of course those are like the earlier shit. And anything that's like probably like mostly adult cartoons that were from all the way back then, oh my god.
He's gone.
Anything that's like from earlier back then that's considered like an adult cartoon isn't as good as, well, nowadays isn't that good as it was, back then. But South Park currently isn't the best cartoon, but I would say like it's not, the worst either. So I would probably put it C, probably.
Yeah, C tier seems fine.
C tier for South Park.
Next up we have Recess, which I've seen like one or 2 episodes of Recess.
Dude, I remember watching Recess when I was freaking like what was it, like 4 years old? So it's like very like hard to remember shit from it.
Yeah.
Would I go back to watch more episodes again? Probably not. I don't think it's my entire cartoon. So I would say that's like probably like a good D.
Yeah, good D.
Because I would never watched because that wouldn't make any fucking sense. But D tier.
Then we got Dragon Ball Z.
So I have a pretty good love for Dragon Ball, right?
I haven't watched a lot of Dragon Ball, so
at least earlier when I was a kid, when I was more like 12, 11 years old. Love the video games, but of course we're talking about like the cartoons here.
Yeah. Well, this is just Dragon Ball Z. I know there's like a bunch of different Dragon Ball cartoons, but this is like Dragon Ball Z. Dragon
Ball Z original. I think it's a great cartoon. Where would I put it? I'd probably put it at B tier, just because.
Okay.
Yeah, good B tier.
Okay. Then we got Family Guy. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Family Guy gets a lot of hate nowadays.
Yeah, it does. Family Guy is still like watchable nowadays, but it's not as good as it was at one point. I prefer Family Guy over South Park. I always have. But it's still like not amazing. I'd probably put Family Guy like low B tier, maybe high C tier right now.
I'd probably put it above South Park in C tier.
Okay. Again, there's a lot of cartoons in this, so
Yeah.
there'll probably be
So
some
we might
rearranging.
scramble them.
Yeah.
Kim Possible
Yeah, Kim Possible.
is a cartoon that I actually watched back on it. Like I've seen a couple episodes again. It's a great cartoon. I think I say like the what makes the cartoon good is probably like the villains, like that one freaking dude. I forget what the hell his name is. The sexy ass clone of like Kim or whatever. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah.
And fucking yeah, and the rat character or whatever. That's shit that I remember. It's a great show. Of course, nowadays it's been turned into like a live action movie.
Well, this is just the show we're talking about, the cartoon.
Exactly, it's just a cartoon.
I'd say this is a good B tier.
It's a good B tier. Let's put it B.
Then we got Back at the Barnyard, which like, so I have a lot of love for like early 2000s, like mid 2000s Nicktoons, and this was one of them. And I'm not gonna like let that bias like really affect this tier list. I'd say Back at the Barnyard is probably C tier.
C tier, yeah.
Like a lot of people don't really remember it and don't have like fond memories of it, so
But the movie was great. But this is just a cartoon.
I think
Just
I think the cartoon's better than the movie, to be honest. But
cartoon's good, yeah.
okay, then we got Ben 10, the original Ben 10 series.
OG Ben 10 is, bruh.
I think that's like high B tier, maybe A tier.
That is a high B tier.
Okay, seems fair. Then we have Batman the animated series,
Okay,
the classic.
the animated series. Okay, so this is not Batman Beyond or whatever.
No,
The fuck?
this is like the one where fuck, what's his name? Mark Hamill voices the Joker, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's a solid.
I've seen a couple of episodes. Mark Hamill, of course, great job at the Joker.
I'm gonna put
But I would
that
say
like mid B tier right now.
B tier.
I think it's solid. I haven't like watched a whole lot of it, so I don't have enough confidence to put it super high or super low. So we're just gonna go
Yeah.
with mid B tier. Camp Lazlo. Camp Lazlo.
C tier, bro. High C tier. Is it a badass? Is it a well? It's not a badass show. Is it a bad show? No. It's just I
It's
don't know.
okay.
It's a pretty. It's so okay, you know.
Yeah. Cat Dog.
Cat dog.
Cat Dog might be. Cat Dog's like it's just so okay. Like
C tier.
that's how I feel about a lot of '90s Nicktoons is they're just okay.
They're just okay. Yeah.
So
C tier, bro.
next up we got Chowder.
Chowder. Already know. I already know that's like a. I would say that's an A tier, bro.
Yeah, Chowder's pretty solid A tier. We have a lot to go through here, so there's gonna be some rearranging. Then we have Courage the Cowardly Dog. I feel like that's like a B or a C.
I feel like I'm feeling a B tier on Courage, to be honest with you, because although Courage the Cowardly Dog wasn't the best show, I have like a lot of memories from it, especially when it comes to like anything like scary. Like it was like that first like show that ever like creeped me out,
Yeah.
which is good to look back on because you have a lot of childhood memories from it. At least I do. Put it at B tier, honestly.
All right, Danny Phantom. I feel like Danny Phantom's a solid B tier,
High.
maybe low A tier. I don't know.
I'd say that's
Danny Phantom. Season 3 of Danny Phantom was like not as good as the first two, but it's still like decent show.
yeah.
So yeah,
And just to have
put
three
that high B.
seasons to be a decent ass show, it's like it's good, you know. It's
Yeah.
at least it's not like a Fairly Odd Parents like thing where it just gets boring as fuck.
Yeah. Now we got DuckTales, the original '90s DuckTales.
Didn't watch a lot of DuckTales back then,
Yeah,
at least for me.
I'm gonna
I
put
just
that.
knew
I'm gonna
about
put
it.
that in like C tier. You know, it's just
CT.
it's a fun cartoon.
The Cleveland
The
Show.
Cleveland Show. Cleveland Show. A lot of people hate on Cleveland Show. It's really not that bad, but it's
I think it's funny.
yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm gonna put that high D tier. I think just because
I put it. I put it low C
if it's
tier.
not in D tier, then people will probably be angry. So
Okay, we'll put a D tier then.
LT
LT
Gray underrated show.
underrated as fuck. I'd give that show a fucking B if I could, but I would give it a high C to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
high C. It only has one season, so it didn't really have enough time to get better.
Fish
Fish
hooks.
hooks. Okay, fish
Okay,
hooks is
fish hooks is
okay.
good.
Yeah,
Okay, it's
yeah.
good. All right. I'd give it a high C because I feel like that show is so underrated to be honest with you.
Yeah, I watched some of that kind of recently on Disney Plus.
It's a good ass show and characters in it. It's like a bunch of fishes going to school and shit like that. And they're dealing with teenage drama and shit, but it's funny at the same time.
Yeah.
Um,
Flapjack. Okay, here's a possibly controversial opinion. I like Flapjack more than Chowder.
I do not like Flapjack more than Chowder, but do I think that they deserve the same ass tier? Definitely. I put Flapjack in A tier if I could.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Because that's
I'm gonna go with the general public and put Flapjack under Chowder, but they're still both in A tier.
but the thing is that Chowder and Flapjack were like kind of like
They were like
the two they were
brother
the two
shows.
shows that pretty much like saved Cartoon Network from becoming like a dump, pretty much.
Yeah,
Because that
it's
was
like
during the
when you
time they
think of eras in Cartoon Network, like Chowder and Flapjack are like an era, and then Adventure Time and Regular Show were like an era.
exactly. So and especially it helped carry the channel, especially at a time where like CN Real was coming out,
Yeah,
and that's where it's like nobody gave a fuck about Cartoon Network anymore. But
yeah.
like
Okay,
the
we got
the two shows
Futurama.
that
Futurama's
was there.
next.
Oh yeah, Futurama. Futurama is funny as hell, but I feel like it's what is it? It's been a while since I watched it, to be honest with you.
I've only seen like a few episodes of Futurama.
The characters Bend, what's his name? Bender, Fry, fucking
I'm inclined to put it in C tier just because I don't know a
yeah.
whole lot about it.
I put it in C tier.
Okay, C tier. Invader Zim. Now another thing about Invader Zim is that it only had one season, kind of like LT Gray, so it didn't have a lot of
Yeah,
time to like get better. But they also did the movie, and the fan base is like really huge. And there's also like comics and stuff. So
I'll give it a
I
low
definitely
B.
yeah, I definitely say it's in B tier.
The
Uh, the
Jetsons.
Jetsons, a classic. I'm not like the
Uh,
biggest fan of like these super old Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
not bad. I mean, like
No, it's not
we
bad.
can.
It's okay. That's a C
I
tier.
remember watching Boomerang. It's C tier. Yeah.
Okay, Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo hasn't aged very well because the entire show is just Johnny Bravo, picking up chicks and being sus.
Johnny Bravo is sus, so I give it a S for sus. No, I'm kidding.
I don't want to keep putting shit in C tier, but
But these shows are so okay. How about give this one? I was about to say give it a D tier, bro, but like
yeah, we'll do high D tier, I think. And
high D
I'm gonna
tier.
move Jetsons down to D tier as well.
Okay, Mad, right? Okay,
Mad is hella underrated as well.
Mad is fucking underrated. But like I'll tell you this, there are some episodes that are just terrible, right?
Yeah.
But then there are some episodes that are funny, like
So
great.
so like last year I think it was, I really wanted to watch Mad, so I bought all 4 seasons of Mad on YouTube and I watched all 4 seasons and I only remembered like the episodes from like season 1 and season 2. Like after that I
Yeah,
couldn't remember anything from
because
it.
those were actual good episodes. But then it just felt like I don't know.
Yeah, Mad, I think
There's a lot of
the best stuff of Mad was the first few seasons of it.
there are shows that they make fun of that like no kid at the time could like even know or like understand these jokes. Most of it's just Barf fucking farting
Yeah,
shit like that.
I think I'll put that high D tier or low C tier.
I give it a high D.
Yeah. Mucho Lucha, it's kind of a little bit of an unknown one. Not unknown, but
Never watched it honestly.
obscure. I've watched like a few episodes. It's probably like D tier.
D tier. Then.
Paw Patrol I've never watched because I'm not 5 years old.
Never watched, but my brother fucking loves it. He probably would say it's like an S tier.
Okay,
So
Phineas and Ferb is S tier.
Phineas and Ferb is S tier.
You know, so the show is very formulaic, where it's just like every episode is pretty much the same, but like the music in the show is really good. The characters are really funny. There's a lot of good jokes in there. Doofenshmirtz is iconic. Perry the Platypus is iconic.
Mm.
It definitely has had a lot of cultural impact as well. Where I feel like a lot of these shows, I mean, Family Guy has had a huge cultural impact, but like Phineas and Ferb definitely has. So I feel
Yeah.
like that deserves to be an S tier. Rugrats.
Now, I didn't grow up at the time where like Rugrats were such a like a big thing
No,
on
I didn't grow up
Nickelodeon.
in the 90s during Rugrats, but I still have to put respect and put that in A tier.
I would have to put that in A tier as well.
Yeah. SpongeBob, we already know that's the top of S tier.
S
SpongeBob,
tier, bro.
SpongeBob, there's no explanation needed. The cultural impact that this show has had, you know, all the memes online,
It's different, bro.
it's built different. Basically, every person who grew up in the 2000s was like heavily influenced by the comedy of SpongeBob, and like that show made a lot of people who they are today. So
Pretty
it's
much goofy
impossible.
as.
It's impossible to not put that in S tier.
All right, the Clone Wars.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars. That's a pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. I'm gonna put that in B tier.
Didn't they bring that show back?
Yeah, they did a new season. I haven't watched the new season though.
B tier it is.
Okay, Jimmy Neutron.
Boy genius.
Right, Jimmy Neutron's a solid. I'd say it's a solid like high B.
Yeah.
I really wish that there
There's
was.
a lot of episodes I remember from Jimmy
Yeah,
Neutron. I think
I think it also is. When it comes to favorite cartoons, it's very nostalgia driven. Also,
yeah.
so this is more like our personal favorites and like a couple ones we like put in that are like the general consensus, but like it's more nostalgia driven than it is like quality of the show. So Jimmy Neutron for me is like really good. All right, The Amazing World of Gumball.
That's an A, bro. I
Yeah,
give it an A.
you
Now,
give that an A?
I give that an A because I don't know. I feel like that show's great and all, right? But it was kind of during the time where like you have these like two massive shows that were just like, you know, regular show and Adventure Time, right? So
I
it's
didn't
like,
watch a lot of the later episodes of Gumball, but like
me neither.
I liked it decently when it was out, but I still preferred regular show and Adventure Time.
That's what makes it an A tier for me. Because I keep like almost having like because it. I feel like if this show were to come out like alone,
You know what? Yeah, I'll put it A tier.
I don't know. It's a great show.
Yeah, it's a great
The
show.
animation is what's not. The thing is that the animation is amazing, right? Amazing. World of Gumball.
Yeah,
But like, what makes it a good ass show, I feel like, is the comedy in it. You know,
right.
it's clever, it's funny. So I give it an A.
Then we have the Flintstones, which is a classic. I definitely would put the Flintstones above the Jetsons
Yeah,
because I've watched more of the Flintstones than the
I
Jetsons.
watched more of the Flintstones, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'd probably put that C tier.
I'd probably put it a little B.
Okay, we'll do
Not a bad show.
low B. I don't really have a lot of nostalgia for those shows, but
I'm looking at the next one, the Garfield
yeah, the Garfield show. Garfield
This show
show.
isn't that bad.
It's not
actually.
that
Like,
bad.
I
I'll
give
put
it
that
like I give it a B, honestly.
a B.
A high C. I'll give it a high C because
Okay.
I just saw Fish Hooks is in C, so it's like bug it.
Penguins of Madagascar.
That's a good show.
It's a pretty okay. I'm gonna put that low C.
Low C. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Phone call. My gym partner's a monkey. I was not a fan of the show.
Me neither. I freaking hated this show when it came out.
Yeah, that's gonna be D tier for me.
Yeah.
Tough Puppy is okay. That's like a C tier. I didn't really watch a whole lot of it because this was around the time where I stopped watching Nickelodeon for the most part, and I started watching more Cartoon Network because Tough Puppy came out. Like Tough Puppy and Planet Sheen came out the same time, around the same time that like regular show and Adventure Time were coming out. So it's like those shows
I
were way
feel-
better.
Yeah. What you say was like a D tier? C
It's
tier,
low C.
low C. Yeah, that's good.
Because like I've heard that it's pretty good, but it's just all right.
My life as a teenage robot. Let's go. I give that show
It's a solid
uh
B tier.
D tier. Boom. No, I'm kidding. I'm giving that a B tier.
Hero 108. I don't think I've ever watched that.
I've seen it before. It's like I don't fucking remember. But
All
then
right,
like not watch, bro.
yeah, never watched. We'll just put it there. Teen
Yeah.
Titans. Teen Titans is a solid. I'd like to think it's a B tier.
B tier for Teen Titans.
Yeah,
I think
it's kind of hard to like compare all of these because some of these are like heavily like action oriented and some of them are very just comedic. So there's a weird blend and it's hard to compare them. But
it's really hard. Yeah.
Tom and Jerry,
Tom and Jerry.
a
It's a
classic.
B tier.
Yeah.
A tier. I'd give it an A tier to be honest with you. If it's like a low A, I'd give it that.
Tom and Jerry's one of those shows that you can just like have on and then fall asleep, which is not a bad thing
Yeah.
because you don't have to like pay attention to it very much because there's not
It's fun.
any,
It's stupid.
not
It's
any
like
dialogue.
it's just like background cartoons. You know, like
Caillou.
Caillou. I I used to watch a lot of Caillou when I was younger.
Caillou's all right. We'll put that at C tier.
We'll put it at C tier for Caillou.
Yeah, Annoying Orange, that's D tier.
Fuck the show. That's D tier.
Hey Arnold, I haven't really watched a lot of, but like I've heard it's pretty good. I feel like it's average. C tier.
D tier. Fuck almost naked.
Almost naked animals.
bro.
No, that's D tier.
D tier.
American Dad.
American Dad. This is a C tier, bro.
Yeah, that's a high C tier. I think I like American
High
Dad.
C tier.
Generally, modern American Dad I like more than modern Family Guy. But at one point, I liked Family Guy more. So they're both in C tier.
Animaniacs, I give that show a B tier, to be honest. It's wacky as fuck, but I like it.
Are we talking about the Hulu one or the classic?
That's the problem, you know. I haven't watched the Hulu one.
Yeah, I'll just put it B tier. I haven't
I've heard it's really
watched
good.
it either. So, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Now, this show, right? I really like,
Yeah.
but mainly because of the characters. But this show's still like, there's a lot of episodes that I would just want to skip and skip and skip because it's fucking boring.
I'm gonna go high D tier on that.
I would go high C, but like, you know, high D
Like
tier.
high C, like above American Dad and Family Guy and South Park.
Okay, maybe not that, but
Yeah,
like
we're gonna do high D tier. I think.
high D.
I think
yeah,
that's fair.
Arthur.
Arthur.
Arthur is a revolutionary show. Okay. Arthur is is it a great show? Probably not. I would not go back to watch Arthur, but like, fuck, it's still like it kind of changed my childhood because that's what I was watching all the time.
All right,
I give that show an A.
An A.
Yes, I give it an A.
All right, we'll go with that. Billy and Mandy.
Fuck this show. No, I'm kidding. Look, Billy and Mandy.
Billy and Mandy's a solid B.
It's a solid B.
Yeah. Breadwinners, D tier.
I don't know what that is.
Clarence.
Clarence.
I didn't watch a lot of Clarence because that was also at the same time I stopped watching Cartoon Network.
I've seen a few episodes of it. I think the only episode I've seen where like one of the kids got their like fries stolen and shit, and they like fly each other or some shit.
It's not bad. I'll put that in C tier. It's pretty average.
I'll put it in C for Clarence.
Cow and Chicken. That's a pretty.
Cow and Chicken freaks me out only because of the fucking devil sexy character.
I'm gonna put that in like low C as well.
I'm gonna put that in low C.
Dexter's Lab. Dexter's Lab is probably B or A.
I give it a B, high B if I could.
Okay, high B. I mean, we got Jimmy Neutron and Dexter's Lab. They're kind of very similar, so.
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer.
This show isn't that bad. I mean, for the time it wasn't like, but now it's fucking annoying as shit.
It's hard to like group these like educational like preschooler shows and
then you got adult cartoons.
Yeah, I'll put Dora in C tier. I keep putting stuff in C tier, but it's like You know,
Put Dora
some
in B tier. Dog, I did not watch at
okay.
all, bro.
Dora's got to go in B tier. All right, Doug, never watched. Have you
Never
watched Doug?
watched. No.
All right,
Dodge.
total
No.
drama.
That's an A, bro. I'm sorry. The original Total Drama, the OG, that
But
shit's an
this
A.
is all the seasons though. I do like the first season the most. I'm gonna put it B tier.
I'm gonna give okay.
Dragons, I've
Never watched.
never watched that. Ed, Ed and Eddie. Ed, Ed and Eddie
It's
is
an A.
yeah, that's an A, I think. Avatar. So here's the thing: I've never watched Avatar, and like I really should.
I I give it. I've given it a B. I've seen a couple episodes of it. Now, should you watch them in order? Definitely. Don't be like me, where you just watch a bunch of random episodes. But it's still a good show, especially like action. If you're a fan of anime, it's
Oh my
great.
god, there's still so many left. Okay,
Fanboy and Chum Chum. Fuck this show.
Fanboy and Chum
T.
Chum is really overhated, but it's still D tier.
It's still D tier.
Yeah, Foster's is a good B tier, I think.
B tier yet?
I've never watched Archer.
Me neither, but I really do want to watch Archer for some reason.
Boondocks is pretty good.
I give Boondocks a B for
Yeah.
Boondocks.
Gravity Falls, that's probably an A or an S.
That shows an A. That shows an A for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that
High
high A.
King of the Hill.
Oh, King of the Hill. King of the Hill's pretty good. That's like
good.
a good. That's a
Such a
good
B.
good B tier. Yeah. Pokemon. I'm not a big Pokemon fan, so I've never
I
really
was
watched
a
that much.
Pokemon fan of the cartoons at one point. I'd give that show probably like a B.
Johnny Test. Johnny Test
C.
is like a low C.
I see. Low C? Okay, low C is good.
Yeah. Kick
Kick
Buttowski.
Buttowski.
Underrated.
Underrated as fuck, but
Yeah.
I give it a C as well, bro.
Yeah. Probably like
But it's still a good show.
somewhere in the middle C. Probably.
Yeah.
Kids Next Door.
Yo, this show is actually yeah.
Kids Next
I give
Door.
the show a B. Actually,
I'm gonna go
now
high
I'm thinking
B.
about it. High B on this one.
Yeah. Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness.
I've never watched this one.
That's probably like a D. I don't know. Lilo and Stitch, the series.
The series I don't remember at fucking
Yeah,
all.
I've never
really-
watched the series of Lilo and Stitch. So, how are you gonna put Looney Tunes? Like, there's so many
Comparing
episodes
to
of
all
Looney
of these.
Tunes. I mean, Looney Tunes has to be in like A tier.
Yeah, at least A, bro.
It would
But
be
it's not.
it would be illegal.
It's not
not
A
to.
for me. Like, I mean, like it's just like it's one of those. It's like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah,
where
like
it's just
you can't dislike Looney Tunes. It's like
Yeah.
impossible. Beavis and Butthead.
B. No, C, D, C or D.
I'm gonna go
I see
high D on that.
I
think.
D.
Rocko's Modern Life is probably one of the only '90s Nicktoons that I really like.
It's a good cartoon. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah, I'll go B tier.
It's like a lot of adult like shit in that.
I've never watched Ninjago.
I have. I remember fucking loving this show. It's not even that bad because there's like a whole story around it. It's fucking good. I give this show a B, bro.
Okay, B tier. Adventure Time. Adventure Time has to be.
IA or low S. Low S sounds pretty good for it.
Yeah, I'd say low S. Adventure Time kind of fell off for me as it went on, but like, it's still really good, and you can't deny the impact that it had. Pinky and the Brain. I've never really watched that.
Probably C.
Well, have you ever watched it?
Yeah, I mean it came out with the Animaniacs. It was like its own mini show.
Okay. Well, then we'll put it C tier. Planet Sheen, D tier. I don't think we really have to argue about that.
Fucking shit.
Problem Solvers, also D tier.
That show fucking hurts my eyes.
Yeah. The Proud Family, that was a pretty good one.
B tier.
It's probably a high D, I'd say.
ID?
Yeah, maybe low C. I'll put High.
Lucy.
Okay, yeah, low C. Rabbids, I've never watched that.
I don't know what that is.
Rick and
Oh, the
Morty.
video game.
Rick and Morty. You can talk
Rick
about
and
that.
Morty. Rick and Morty.
I've never watched Rick and
Rick and
Morty,
Morty.
so
Rick and Morty is good when you're fucking high as fuck, you know?
yeah.
Well,
Well, I've heard that it's kind of fell off. Like it was
it
better
did.
the first
I
few
feel like it fell
seasons.
off because what is it? The show is kind of like it's like makes you like there's like a lot of dumb jokes in it, but there's like a lot of smart jokes where you have to be like some sort of like you have to have some sort of intelligence to fucking
Yeah, you
understand
have
at
to
the
have a
same
high
time.
IQ to understand Rick and Morty.
But like it's like
I think generally most people would say that's an A tier.
A tier, yeah.
Robot Chicken, that's definitely high for me.
Freaking high B, I would say.
Yeah. Regular
Regular
Show,
show S
S
tier.
tier, S tier.
Yeah, I'd put it above Phineas and Ferb and Adventure Time.
Yeah. Samurai
Samurai Jack
Jack.
is now the original story, the OG story, is great. When they came back with a lot of people, don't agree with this. When they came back with the Adult Swim like finale, I thought the finale was amazing.
Yeah.
At least that's what I thought. Like the whole story of him with, fighting Aku still, and like, he's still like living in the world for like centuries, and he gets like a girlfriend and shit like that. But I thought that was a great finale, and that's what made this show top notch for me. But I would give it like a high B, bro.
Okay.
To me, it's a high B.
It's fair. Sanjay and Craig. That's probably like a D tier.
I've heard of that show. I don't know.
All right, we're getting close to the end here. We got a few more rows to go. Scooby Doo. This is just general Scooby Doo. It doesn't say what show.
General Scooby Doo. Okay.
Scooby Doo's got to be A tier. There've been so many iterations of Scooby Doo. There's a couple of like really really good ones. The Simpsons we have to put in A tier.
A tier. The thing about The Simpsons is that like you watch the newer episodes, of course, like I was talking about
Even
earlier.
like the new episodes of The Simpsons aren't bad. It hasn't gotten to like modern Family Guy levels of
they're
bad.
not bad, but like you look back to like older episodes, that's where you can fucking laugh your ass off,
Yeah.
So give that an A.
Secret Mountain Fort Awesome, D tier.
I don't know what the fuck that is, bro.
Squirrel Boy, I don't remember a lot about Squirrel Boy, so I'm gonna also put that D tier. Steven Universe, I'm not really a fan of, but I know a lot of people really like it.
A lot of people are a fan of it. I can never get into it, man. Honestly.
I feel like that's gonna go in B tier, I guess.
B tier.
Teen Titans Go, that's D tier.
Teen Titans Go is not D tier.
Okay,
I'm gonna defend Teen Titans Go.
It's low C tier then.
I'm gonna give it. Okay, we'll put it in C. To be honest with you, when I first watched when it was coming out at first, I actually liked it. Did I like it more than the original Teen Titans? Absolutely not. But it was kind of like its own like.
Yeah,
meaning.
I didn't completely hate it either, but I don't know. Fairly Odd Parents, that's definitely like A tier.
B.
B? I'd say it's an A tier. It's very iconic.
It's an iconic show, but
I'm doing low A.
Low A.
The Mighty B, kind of underrated show.
B for Mighty. No, I'd give that show a C.
Yeah, it's a good C
It was
tier.
good for its time, but I felt like not only was it underrated as fuck, like there wasn't like it didn't carry on, and it should have. Like
Yeah.
it was a good ass show.
Powerpuff Girls, that's gonna be pretty high. I would say.
I'll give it a B. Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, it's a good B tier. Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy has not aged very well. I'd give that like a C tier.
Now, why is that?
C. Why hasn't it aged well? Or why am I putting it C tier?
Why hasn't it aged well? To explain.
The whole like gross out comedy thing was like overdone, and like it's also done better in other shows, and the creator is a pedophile, so
Okay. Move on. Peanuts. No, you have to put Peanuts in A tier, bro.
yeah, but Peanuts isn't like a cartoon. These are like specials, like the Christmas special, and like I mean, it's very
But they're
iconic.
specials, but they're iconic as fuck because you watch them
Soundtrack carries
every
though.
holidays.
Teenage Mutant
Right.
Ninja Turtles. I don't know if this is just like the 2003 Ninja Turtles or if this is like all versions of Ninja Turtles.
Dude, I don't know which one this is, man.
This
Did
is
I
like
watch the
this is
older
one of
one
the like early 2000s one.
when they used to appear on like CW and shit like that? I would watch them like as a
I'd
Saturday
say
morning
Ninja
cartoon.
Turtles
But,
is
like
B tier.
it's like a B, bruh. B B B. What is this?
Transformers animated.
I don't know.
Transformers animated. It's probably a good it's a good C tier. I'd say it's all right.
C tier it is.
Uncle Grandpa is overhated. I think too many people hate on Uncle Grandpa. It's still probably like a low D or not low D, high D. I don't know how you feel about Uncle Grandpa, but
I don't know. I only watched like a couple of shows. The only character I remember is really Uncle Grandpa on Pizza Steve. Was it the
yeah,
pizza guy?
yeah.
Yeah,
Wander Over Yonder, I've never watched.
me neither.
Uh,
But
we
I've heard it's very good.
We Bear Bears is probably like it's okay.
It's good.
It's a good
I don't
C.
mind it. It's like a C, bruh.
Yeah. Bob's Burgers, I'm not really a huge fan of.
New movie coming out. I've heard. Is the good show itself? Nah. It's like a C.
Yeah. Yin Yang Yo, this is a throwback. That was like
Bro, I don't even fucking. Was it like the fucking like yin and the yang? Like, weren't they like characters or
yeah,
whatever?
Yin and Yang were like pink
That was
and
on
blue
Disney
bunnies.
Channel, wasn't it?
It was like I think it was one of the first shows on Disney XD, or maybe it was like a Disney Channel show that was also on Disney XD.
Yeah.
That's a good C tier, I think.
C tier it
Not
is.
bad. And last, certainly least, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't that bad when I was a freaking little kid. I thought it was cool as fuck, but only because you would play like the playing cards, right?
Yeah.
And that's what made you want to watch the show. Kind of was it boring as fuck? Kind of. C. All right. Now
Now I gotta rearrange. I'm gonna zoom out
it's hard.
here.
It's
we can-
really hard to rearrange this stuff, and I feel like you have different shows in certain areas because my entire list is like
I can't even
bonkers.
I can't even show the entire list in one screen on here. Gonna have to like zoom out super far.
It's very hard, man. Now
And like
let's just
you
go
can't
with,
even
like,
really
the-
see it the way that I zoomed it
Okay,
out. So
how about this? Let's just go with like the general ones that we like the most and why we like them the most, right? So, or like the most like we'll go tier by tier, but we won't talk about every show because that's like kind of whatever. Okay, SpongeBob in S tier. I say that's
SpongeBob doesn't really need an explanation. I think most people agree that SpongeBob's like one of the greatest cartoons ever
iconic
made.
as fuck. It's the most referenced show probably ever. Like compared to like anything else, like any like other show, even like fucking reality shows and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's referenced a lot.
I feel like
regular show.
regular show
Regular
is
show
very
popular.
it's very nostalgia driven, but it's also like we watched regular show in like our teenage years, and that's like
Yeah.
that show is like perfect for that time frame.
Now, I also think that a lot of people wouldn't put it in S tier. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
probably like a lot of people didn't really grow up with that show themselves. But like to me, that's an S tier show because of like the it was kind of like you said, it was during a time of our teenage years, but at the same time, it's sort of the time where like right before Cartoon Network became more like, I don't know. I feel like the shows right after regular show and Adventure Time have gotten really soft.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Like especially with their jokes, like the regular show had a heavy ass adult humor in it.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even tell whether or not sometimes it was like an Adult Swim show or Cartoon Network.
Well, you
That's
see
so
like
crazy.
Cartoon Network in like the early 2010s and stuff like that. That's when they like were making shows more aimed towards teenagers and not like small children. Like for me, when I was growing up, in the early 2000s when I was growing up, I was more like into Nickelodeon shows like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, Danny Phantom, stuff like that. And I didn't really watch a whole lot of Cartoon Network in the early 2000s. Then around 2010 with like Chowder and Flapjack and Adventure Time and Regular Show, that's when I kind of like switched to watching Cartoon Network more. Because also Nickelodeon's shows in like the early 2010s and shit, they were like all way worse. Of course,
Yeah.
there was always SpongeBob, but that was like past his like best seasons. Like seasons like 1 to probably 5 is like the peak of SpongeBob. It's starting to like get to like being really good again, but I don't really watch cartoons that much anymore. So
Yeah, so it's hard to really come back
yeah,
to watching it. Um, I'm glad that regular show also ended. You know, like
yeah,
I feel like that show. It's one of those shows that, like, you know, almost like Danny Phantom, right? That you're glad that it ended at some point, because it should just be liked for so long. You know, like SpongeBob. SpongeBob is different because I feel like SpongeBob has a plot, but it's more like there's a lot of episodes that just are considered canon because it's
yeah.
like, you know, just wacky ass shows.
See,
So it's
regular
like,
show is so good. It's so good to the fact that there are a lot of regular show episodes that I didn't watch because uh, around the same time where I started like not really liking Adventure Time as much because of the episodes they were making. I just stopped watching Cartoon Network most of the time in
in
general.
general.
So there was a lot of regular show that I missed that I still haven't seen, and it's still S tier for me. Like the first few seasons of regular show are so good to me that I have to put it in S tier.
It's funny. It's a great show to watch.
Yeah, like the four shows in S tier are probably the four cartoons that I watched the most in my
Yeah,
childhood.
growing up,
Yeah,
pretty
because
much.
I went
Yeah.
from SpongeBob to like Phineas and
Okay.
Ferb, and then
No,
regular show
because
and Adventure Time.
dead ass, these four shows, I can literally have marathons on them.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's good because we have a good, diverse, network things going on. We got SpongeBob from Nick, Phineas and Ferb from Disney, and regular show and
You can
Adventure
tell
Time.
that we're, even though SpongeBob is our favorite show of all time, it's like, okay. Here's a question for you: if you had to pick a side, okay, obviously Disney Channel doesn't really, like, you know, because we don't really have much to say about Disney. Well, like only because we only have like Phineas and Ferb to like talk about there. Because which side? Let's just go. Which side would you choose? Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, or Disney? Like, if
Uh,
you had to choose a side of where like you would watch your entirety of like shows from, like you wouldn't be able to watch. Like, if you would pick Nick, you wouldn't be able to watch Cartoon Network or Disney Channel. You would only be able to watch Nick on TV.
I have a lot of nostalgia for early 2000s Nickelodeon shows. So, but like the early 2000s Cartoon Network stuff is good too, like Ed, Ed and Eddie and Kids Next Door and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so
So we're only putting this in like cartoon wise, right?
yeah,
So
like
okay, so we can't
it's
say,
very.
oh, I picked Nickelodeon,
So like
and like because I like
I want to pick
Nickelodeon.
Cartoon Network because I feel like there's a lot more uh quality stuff there
Variety. Yeah,
overall. But
and it's sad
Like
because
Nickelodeon has SpongeBob, so it's like I could watch SpongeBob anytime. What I've been doing recently, which is really funny, I guess. Paramount Plus has a live channels thing that's like basically live TV, and they have a SpongeBob channel that only plays SpongeBob 24/7. And what I've been
I didn't even
doing,
know that, and I have fucking Paramount Plus.
well,
Right?
now you're gonna start watching the SpongeBob channel
Yeah,
on Paramount Plus.
exactly.
They just play like marathons, random episodes of SpongeBob. I think they also play Camp Coral and the Patrick Show on there as well, but it's mostly just the regular show, not regular show, but SpongeBob. Um, but like what I've
Sometimes I
been
wish
doing
we did.
is I've been like turning that on my phone like before I go to sleep, like just to have on. Like so I have something to have on because I
Yeah,
usually go to sleep like watching a live stream or something. I used to have the TV on when I go to sleep because like I don't like complete silence and complete darkness. Um, so it's very comforting, I guess. And
yeah.
it's something that I don't have to pay full attention to because it's a lot of episodes that I've already seen. And SpongeBob's not a huge plot focused show, so it's like you can just watch it and turn your brain off.
That's
So
true. Yeah.
there you go. Now you know about the SpongeBob channel on Paramount Plus.
Oh God, I'm just gonna go to that every night now. It's like, instead of praying before bed, I'm just gonna watch SpongeBob.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Going to like probably talking about Phineas and Ferb, man. That show for me when I was, a lot younger, I felt like that show was that show made you creative yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I feel like there was like a lot of like lessons to be learned from this show, but at the same time, it was like what made it good is I felt like the humor
Yeah.
was one
Well,
of the
here
biggest things
here's the
about
like
it.
the super interesting thing about our S tier placements is that SpongeBob is still ongoing. It's an ongoing show, and there's like spin-offs and movies and everything. Regular show is over. Adventure Time is kind of over. Like the show itself is
Distant
over, but
lands or whatever the
there's
fuck.
like a HBO Max special series or something that I haven't watched, and like Phineas and Ferb is over, but there's still so many episodes of regular show and Adventure Time and Phineas and Ferb that I haven't seen because I just stopped watching cartoons at one point, and like all of these are still in S tier because like the early seasons of these shows were so good, including
Yeah,
SpongeBob. Like the best SpongeBob stuff was the early seasons as well.
early seasons. Yeah.
I feel like Phineas and Ferb probably like never like got bad or fell off or anything. It's just that I just stopped watching it.
Hmm.
Like I feel like it probably stayed consistent quality wise.
It sucks. It sucks that you have to kind of like let go of these shows. You know, and
Yeah.
maybe they can be getting good, or maybe they can be getting bad. But it's like, you know,
Well, I moved on from cartoons to like watching YouTube and like internet content.
or just
Um,
like what I usually do. Fucking, I like to watch drama shows nowadays. I'll be honest with you. I've been hooked on a few ones. Watching this show called Euphoria on HBO Max. I'm
yeah, I've
sure
heard
like
about
a
it.
lot of people know about that shit. Uh, just like moving on to like watching just freaking things that I can like relate to at my age nowadays. Like I
Yeah.
feel like cartoons, especially like if you're talking about Phineas and Ferb and all that shit. Like I feel Phineas and Ferb is like your younger age. Well, your younger age is probably SpongeBob, you're right.
Yeah.
And you go on to Phineas and Ferb, and then regular shows like sort of your like teenage peak and Adventure Time. So it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of just going with my way of growing up, you know.
Yeah. So obviously we're fans of cartoons, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I'm still a fan.
Yeah,
Do I
I
go
still
back and
watch
watch?
cartoons every once in a while. Like I always go back and
Yeah,
watch SpongeBob a lot.
so do I. Going back to watching SpongeBob episodes is great, to be honest with you, because you
Yeah.
just have like all these flashbacks of
It's a
you know
very
like back.
it's a very this is gonna sound like kind of like weird, I think, but it's a very nostalgic and comforting show where like it just makes you feel good when you watch it.
Yeah,
Especially
springs.
like especially rewatching like classic
Honestly,
episodes.
honestly, I feel like I will probably never stop coming back to it. You know,
Yeah. Like
like until I die.
even if SpongeBob eventually ends, which I don't know if it ever will at this point, but if it eventually ends, like it's gonna be very sad. But Steven Hillenburg put in a lot of work to this show. Rest in peace. Um, he's a great guy. I
But it's
mean,
still the show is still extremely like profitable for Nickelodeon. That's the thing. That's
yeah,
why like they can literally kill off all their shows if they wanted to and just still like air SpongeBob and they would still make money
yeah,
just like that.
yeah. Again, like I said when we started this, I didn't make this tier list, so there's probably a lot of shows that are not in this tier list that would probably be ranked somewhere in
Or
here.
maybe there are some things that should be rearranged, but like
Yeah, we I don't really
fucking
feel like rearranging this. If you want like more specifics, like, hey, why is this show in this part of B tier and not here? And like, you really think this is better than this? If you have specific things that you're angry about or
just
want
make
to
your own.
just make your own, or just like ask in the comments,
Yeah,
where I would place specific things. I'm kind of scrolling through right now, so
because
you guys
maybe
can
like
see
maybe
our
something on D
placements.
tier could be your favorite show of all time. You don't even know.
Yeah. So I'm kind of
Well, we
scrolling through right now. You can pause as I'm scrolling down to like see our tiers in more detail. Let me we got S tier and A tier up here. B tier is looking a bit like that. C tier is looking a bit like that. And then D tier and never watched. So that's kind of what it's looking like. We would probably rearrange stuff, but again, it's like it's kind of a waste of time to do that for the
yeah.
podcast. So, yeah, that's basically our cartoon tier list. let us know if there's any tier lists you'd want to see. Obviously, we already did our Spider-Man one, and we just did this cartoons one. I want to do an MCU tier list at some point, but
Yeah,
I think we might have done that on a live stream before. But I feel like
like
that'd be a good episode.
there's a lot of there's a few MCU movies that have coming out recently that
Yeah,
we haven't put in the list. At least the last time that we done it, probably like Shang-Chi and Eternals. You know, of course,
yeah.
No Way
No Way
Home.
Home wasn't out, of course. And I
So
don't think we ranked the shows along with the movies. So
yeah, like What If, Hawkeye,
yeah.
you know, WandaVision, shit like that. But let us know if you guys want to watch that. Of course, like let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I also
Shit
don't
like
want to
that.
like rush into doing another like Marvel themed episode because we already did
Or
like
just like a tier list
we
episode
already did
itself.
like 3 Spider-Man podcasts. So
Yeah, we have. But it's I don't know. It's just things that we like, I
yeah,
guess.
if there's any other tier list you guys want to see, like maybe video game related, that was another one that I had like in my head. Like when I knew we were doing a tier list episode this week, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to do cartoons or if I want to do like a video games one, like a specific video game series, like a Crash tier list or something. But obviously, there's not like a whole lot of Crash games, so it'd be kind of a shorter episode, and we have to go in depth with every game as to our placements, which could still be interesting. But Crash is kind of like a I wouldn't say obscure series anymore, but it's not like super popular to where everyone's played every game. So I don't know if everyone watching is like knows that much about Crash, but it would still be interesting for people, I'm sure. So
That's true.
that's how I'm feeling. The
That's
web
what I'm feeling,
the
bro. The
webcam
webcam.
uh
Uh,
cartoon
check us
podcast.
out. Hopefully this weekend, maybe I get to live stream something. You know,
Oh,
like
are you planning on doing that?
planning on live streaming. I was thinking about it. You know, like maybe playing a few games in there. Jackbox, great game that we played.
Oh yeah, we did Jackbox
We did
recently.
Jackbox. You know, I feel like that's a good ass game to play during a live stream. It's fun. But you know, of course, check us out. Hopefully this weekend, maybe this Sunday. You know, this video is being uploaded on Friday. Uh, you know, turn on notifications. Check me out. Might be live. You never know.
Yeah. Check us out, the webcam, socials in description, single cell, that's me, in description, JJ Tip in the description. Follow all of our social medias. If you're listening on Spotify and want to see what the tier list looks like, a picture of the
I
tier
would
list.
highly recommend to watch this.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend to check out the YouTube video.
Yeah.
I might post the tier list, like a picture of it in the description or like in the comments of the video, just so people get like a better look at it in full detail and not have to like pause of me scrolling through it. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week. I have a very special episode planned for next week. Hopefully we can get it worked out,
around.
get it
Yeah.
arranged. If it doesn't happen, then there's always a backup plan. We have 2 more episodes left of season 1, and then we'll be taking a break for probably 2 weeks. And then we'll be back season 2 of the webcam, season 2 of many.
Season 2 is gonna be crazy. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that.
Yeah. I think
Get ready.
I think what we're gonna do in the 2 weeks leading up to season 2 is I'm probably gonna think like brainstorm a bunch of podcast ideas, so I don't have to like come up with ideas for podcasts like a day before we record it. Because
That's true,
that's
yeah.
kind of how we do this now. Is like, okay, so we're doing a podcast.
But 2 weeks will
Here's what we're
literally
doing.
just give us like a bunch of thoughts to what we can do and what
Yeah.
we can make. You know?
Because these last 2 episodes we've done, the one with that I did last week with Bub, and this episode, we've kind of like had a little bit of like recording issues and stuff, like with scheduling and like figuring out time to do it. So hopefully we get that kind of worked out as time goes on. Maybe we can try to like figure out a day where we will always be able to record. But we also like waiting until the last minute because we're lazy, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the webcam.
The webcam. Peace out, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe,
2022.
like. 2022. It's gonna be a crazy ass year. Peace.
Yep. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
I'm on the web. I'm on the web.